All right, let's get this chess stream started. A lower rated opponent who is not moving. There's the timer. They game will auto abort in 30 seconds. Okay. Karakan. Let's play like this. Sure. I'll go for e6. Let's play knight c6, since the c pawn is not there. At the speed white's playing at, I think I should try to play solidly in 4 time advantage. Now, there's no knight on d7, so I think that putting the bishop here is just fine, and there's no forward pawns that are blocking it right now, and that should be fine. I could try knight e7 and transfer over yeah, let's just play like that. Let's be very solid. And okay. And yeah, okay, that doesn't really bother me, I think. What if I throw my b pawn forward? I wonder if that's a thing. Okay, okay. Yeah, let's throw the a pawn forward as well. Just try to expand here. Now, I might be able to make that bishop miserable and then play with my knights. So I'm going to do that. And this knight is, well, it would need to go out through d2. All right. Now, I think queen c7 makes sense. Unpinning and also threatening that. Potentially this knight is Okay, takes. Do I have any reason not to want my bishop here? Well, let's see. I'll bring this knight because I'm not sure that I want it on c4 trading like that. Now that's... Okay, at the moment, this knight's a little stuck. I don't mind if it captures, and if that, then that should be fine. So, though, if c4, I don't necessarily want to weaken this now. I'll play knight g6. Now, c4 would be a move, all right. Let's see, right now this knight's still at least kind of stuck guarding. I think rook takes is probably good here. Bishop, just rook back, maybe. Is a6 a good spot for the rook, or would I rather have that for the bishop? Maybe I can sort of defend with this bishop. I can... Okay. Yeah, now this doubling up potential. So I think moving forward here with b4 looks good. Takes. Okay, takes. Now I'll bring this rook to the c file. I wonder if this knight moving knight f4. Okay. If I play knight f4, And maybe, I wonder if bishop a6 would have been better. Well, I'll play bishop a6 anyways. I should watch out for tactics. What about f6? I've got some defenders. Now, one question is where's this knight going? What is this knight wanting to do? Should I try and plant it on d3? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Maybe bishop a6 first. Possibly I can let this knight have that square. Maybe it's okay. And bring more pieces to bear. Okay. So if I put it on... If I put this knight on c3, or this rook on c3, is that fine? Is that okay? I'd like to kick the knight. That would be convenient. Okay. Okay. That move doesn't strike me as the most critical. I'll kick the knight. Maybe I'll advance e5. Maybe I have to advance e5 too. Now, maybe it's a bit of a problem. Okay. What's the best way to go about this? Can I... Suppose I want to bring this rook. Now what about just rook c2? Also this bishop should... I wonder if I bring this bishop in. I could also bring it back, although that's maybe not so appealing. I could give a check. That would be trading. Uh, is there a way I can decoy out something? Maybe I'd like to hit this pawn. If I play rook d3, let's try it. No, actually, maybe I should have gone over there and looked at winning the a-pawn. Maybe I should have just brought that rook. Right, I mean, the question is, what are white's attacks? Now, this sort of thing maybe is... Well, I could give a check, say, if that. Maybe that's no good, though. Maybe... Okay. If I put this bishop here, is that fine? Is that okay? What about bringing my queen to a5? Knight b3. Well, well, there are like queen trades and let's try this one. There's this bishop here as well. Maybe I can really kill white on the diagonals here. And maybe, is white's bishop here kind of stupid looking? All right. I'll take that. Now, I'm up in exchange. That attacks the queen. So, takes. All right. Analysis. Now, it does like d5. Takes, likes, okay, that's fine. It's fine. It does like f6 kicking the bishop. And that's, yeah, that's probably what I should have done. Especially since while the case is that my bishop is still back here defending, well, that's fine. Yeah, it wants f6 here. Knight takes. Bishop d7. That makes sense. Oh, well. 5. Rook a7, rook a8, rook a5. Bishop d7. Yeah, I mean, it's not like white can take, eh? So I could have just left that there. Okay. Bishop a6. Does like rook c3. Knight d3. It does like knight d3. Rook c2. Rook c8. Rook c8 is... What does it like rook c8 for? Tactic. Oh, rook c8. Not rook c1, rook c8. Yes, okay. Not rook c1. What am I... Okay. Queen d7, queen c6, queen d6. Oh. Most accurate, it says bishop b1, rook c3, g3, bishop e2. Queen captures e6. Okay, that's interesting. That's a little interesting. Ah, yeah. It's not... Okay, I see. So it's... Yeah, that makes sense. Well, neither of us saw that, but White blundered that. Okay. Well, it's not like I have to take with the rook, because this rook is defended still, so... Okay. Next game. The Reti. I'll play d5. Gambit time, huh? Interesting. Interesting. I'm just gonna transpose into something that looks familiar. Okay, that's... Huh. Is that a thing? Yeah, that queen b file kind of play. Okay. I wonder if I could even go something like e5 here. Wouldn't that be crazy? Well, is d7 fine for the queen? Maybe it becomes annoying later. So I wonder if just trading's fine. It would be... And maybe at some point I should have taken that. Well, anyways. Queen c7. I wonder if that knight's a bit annoying. Well, perhaps I should keep defending this pawn while I'm doing this. So if I did queen d7, well, actually, there's more pressure on this pawn now than I can properly defend, isn't there? So whatever was happening here, I suppose I wasn't quite aware of the best way to deal with it. Maybe... I wonder if this is fine, though, if Can I just play like e5? That looks like a mistake to me. Or no, it's not. No, it's not. It's that pin is... Is it fine though? Maybe? There's... Well, there's certainly plenty of pressure there. Let's try it. If I get into trouble, I get into trouble. Can I just bring the rook and like, can I defend everything here and just be fine? Is this fine? Okay, takes. Well, takes. Okay. This is a little awkward for black, I think. Okay. Do I take the knight? Do I take the bishop? Is there anything else to do? Maybe let's take the bishop. Maybe I can use this open file. Okay, well that's probably makes as much sense as anything else. Maybe. Well, my queen's not in any danger on c6, at least not immediately. This is a bit of an outpost for that knight, isn't it? While development's important, is e5 fine? Let's try e5. Maybe I undermine. Maybe I take and take. Well, if I can get this bishop and knight out and castle, and then be up material, up a pawn, that feels nice. And that sort of thing would be a little... If I put the knight on f6, then it gets attacked. If I put it on e7, I block the bishop. Does it make any sense to put the knight on h6? Can I do that? Or maybe I take the knight and say that pawn's not great, and I can... let's do this. I don't actually want to take this pawn, really. Now, if I play the knight, I can... Let's see. Yeah, let's bring the knight. If black wants to try to trade, I can bring the knight even more. Okay. Suppose I just castle here. Is that best? What if I take, though? Take and castle. And just say, I'm fine. Yeah, your rook's out, but I'm fine. Maybe? Let's go with that. Even trading queens, well, would trading queens be good? Well, castles. I've got a big center. It's not like my rooks are necessarily less active. It's possible this rook can become a target as well. And maybe I swing this rook over to the b file. Ask what white's going to do about it. Okay. Now, one thing I would like to do, say, is to increase pressure against this pawn. Now I can do this. Maybe I wouldn't want to trade the knight off, but I could just bring the knight over and, right? And if that pawn tries to guard it, then it leaves c3 open, doesn't it? So, now at e7, that would be a thing. That would be a move. I think this should be fine, though. I'm also attacking the bishop here, at least at the moment. If I do that, am I just up 2 pawns? My king should be safe. It's got the rooks on the back rank. It's guarding all these pawns insofar as nothing else comes to attack it. Okay. My queen's, well, it covers the dark squares, and now rook c4. Rook c4. Would that pose a problem? Okay. What is the best way to proceed here? Can I, for example, just attack this bishop? Well, one thing to notice is that this pawn does have more attackers against it than defenders. I think being up 2 pawns ought to be enough, even if my queen, maybe it gets forced back by the rook. Probably it's fine. Plus 2 pawns should be pretty big. I could even try danger levels, say. Maybe... Well... Can I do danger levels here? That would be sick. Then losing that pawn would be not what I want here. Can I go queen b6? And is that just fine? Maybe queen b6 is just fine. I've got pressure on the b pawn. I can bring my queen this way, maybe. C7's guarded, so... Okay. Can I just play a5 here? Can I just play a5? Let's try a5. At some point, it'd be great to advance this pawn. Now, if I just take, is everything fine there? Should be. Yeah, okay. I can just defend that, I'm pretty sure. Oh, derp. I derped. Okay. That's just mate. Ah. What did I need to do there? Because I was definitely winning. Now it's actually pretty... Okay. Queen e7. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, yep, queen e8, queen e8. Yeah, that was, boy. Dang it. Okay, next game. Oh, I didn't even notice the comments. Sorry about that. Uh, the comments need to be... I'll get tunnel vision. I wonder if I can... I wonder if there's anything that will make the comments make noise. Because... Let's play e3. I guess let's just play solid here. While I'm happy to trade bishops. Okay. Black wants to bring the queen out in that manner. Suppose I trade the pawn off here. Focusing on the game is good. Not aware of any way to make YouTube comments make sound. Actually going with the queen like that. Well, that's rather interesting. I suppose let's develop my knight and block that and develop my other knight. That probably makes the most sense. Let's see. Is this... I think this is game number 3 today? Okay. And now Black's thinking. What should I be looking for? As long as this queen doesn't move and there aren't danger levels or... Well, let's see. I won game one handily. I wonder, can I just put this pawn here and put the rook on the g file? Well, I guess maybe could get a big center too, perhaps. So let's do that. Okay. Now there are two pins here, but now do I castle right now? Let's go ahead and castle now. Yeah, I did win game one handily. It was against a lower rated player, and so I didn't get so many points. But at no point during that game was I really posed any problems. Uh, let's see. It was the Karakan hillbilly attack. Uh, okay. Well, if white's going to play that pawn like that, I will see about kicking this bishop. And maybe even just e4. That ought to be fine. I wonder... Now maybe there's a point that would be the correct time to push g4. If everything here with black stays sort of trapped. Perhaps. Okay, okay. Probably I don't want to play e5 here. Now there's nothing behind this knight, so I can move this knight. I wonder if trading queens is a good idea. Well, yeah, white has to block. Then I think I like trading queens here. My knight, the knight isn't all that well positioned, but maybe it could become so. Also, if black lets me in on this diagonal here, that's just fine, right? So, do I take the queen now, though, and or would I rather black initiate the trade? Well, now that my queen's over here, this is, say, weakening of pawn, potentially, although maybe it's not a big deal. Say, trade queens, bishop f4, and this bishop has a retreat square, and it supports all these. I've got a big center here, basically. Okay, now if I put rook c1, then this pawn becomes something of a liability for black. And potentially b5 could become weak as well. Is that right? My bro says there's were some tactics to win material. Okay. I wonder if... Now, where would this knight ideally like to be? I mean, it'd be great if I could get it to c5. Now, it would also be nice, perhaps, if I could... I wonder if I play a4 here. Then... Well, if the pawn forward, then... Would knight back here be good? And then ideas of putting the bishop on a6 potentially. Maybe... Well, I think seeing if I can open up this bishop is fine, and this knight... Well, maybe it would rather maneuver in the center here, but... Okay. Now, if I bring the knight back and do like b4, does that help me? Well, well, one question would be, where would the knight be wanting to move from there? If I push b4, maybe even b5, maybe that would be a serious advantage, though. Although that could go to c7, and maybe that's not what I want per se. Can I put my bishop here on d6 and I wonder. If I do put the bishop on d6, then maybe I support it with this pawn and oh, one thing is if the bishop is there, it's, say, blocking the rook. Yeah, let's put the bishop on d6. I've got ideas to support with the pawn, although again, restricting this knight is maybe good. Now that's something. Okay. In this case, maybe, well, maybe I take first. Oh, maybe not. I wonder. This pawn could fall. Well, this would be a good in-between move, right? Well, there could be some trading a piece for 2 pawns. Probably I'd be just fine with that. Because these pawns, right now, they're not doing anything. Queens are off the board. I probably can't get attacked with... So let's go for that. Yeah. Now I'll... So now I'm not worried about this falling. Let's take. Put the knight on b4. Big pressure on the c-pawn. The b-pawn could fall soon after. I'm liking this position, so... Okay. There are 2 pawns on that. Or there are 2... Okay, well... Does that bother me, though? Maybe. If I take with this rook, then I'll trade rooks would be... That's a defender on that square. Maybe I messed up here. Well, let's take this bishop. Then are there tactics I can and should pull off here? Or do I just retreat the bishop? Hmm. Well, there's still pressure on this pawn. My rooks are probably happy on these files. If this knight moves, maybe I can bring the knight to e5. That would be lots of pressure. Okay. Okay. Now this knight can't actually be taken here because of this. So absolutely, let's danger level. Well, yeah, let's. And the pawn is, well, danger levels is. Well, actually, the pawn can't be. Well, what am I thinking? The pawn can't be taken either. So this isn't actually threatening anything at the moment. I'll attack this knight. Yeah, boot the knight. I wonder if trying d5 would be a thing. I mean, probably not if the knight goes there, eh? Potentially I could. I wonder if I could sack this knight effectively. Now, as soon as black castles, this becomes something again, right? Also, if this knight weren't here, it would be really cool. It could also be a cool move to play knight d5, maybe. So can I just play g5 here? That would be nice. I think so. Well, d5. Well, then I would just take, right? I think g5 is working here. So, Put the bishop back on d6, maybe? As well as, let's say, d5. I think d5 feels good. I think I can blast open the center here. So anyway, I started blasting. Is that how that quote goes? I didn't even notice I'm way lower on time here. Now, if the knight moves, then this rook is also protected. That also does something. Okay. Well, at the very least, there's danger levels. If I come in with this rook here. Let's see. Is it vital to move this knight right now? If takes. Also, if this bishop could do something useful here. Now, if I move this knight back, Now this knight is maybe a little sad. This rook's not being all that good. I think I can play down a pawn and try to get my pieces up. Yeah, like c4. That shouldn't be a problem, right? Well, now I can just put the knight back on b4, actually. If bishop c5... No, I'll just go forward here. Here's a fork. That's a one mover. After taking, what does it look like? Well, I'm really low on time. So let's get playing. Let's bring this next knight. I do need to watch out for d3, eh? Okay. Well, this is fine. Now let's say I put this rook on d1. Okay, okay. F2. But then I just take this knight. Right. Okay. Analysis. Time. Likes taking now. It likes queen b3. Likes knight c3. It does like taking there. Oh, takes the pawn. Okay. Yep. Knight f3. Yep. Knight c6. h3. Castles is fine. h3. e4. Yeah. Bishop e3. It does like... Oh, that one's 0-0s after... Well, oh. Apparently that's the wrong thing. The one it likes most is bishop e3. Well, and then after this sort of thing, right, it's just... That's no good for black. White's just opened... Black's just opened things up for white. So... Okay. Wants me to move my queen back because I've just got... Well, queen takes is still advantage here. Bishop d6. Yeah, okay. That one it does not like so much. Now it doesn't like bishop d6. When basically every move you make is a mistake. Every move. Bishop captures e4. Yep. Well, that's what I missed anyways. Then Apparently bishop a5 is the only play to try to keep an advantage. Yeah, retreating that knight's no good. Attacking this knight makes sense. Okay, I see. It likes d5. Yep. And knight f8 it says is most accurate, which is rather curious. It's undeveloping the knight there. I guess this square is maybe fine, but well, it does protect this pawn. That's right, that's right. It protects the pawn. Well, that's no good. Knight c6 check. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, that would have made more sense. Because then what's black to do? Apparently king back to e8. And now takes. And white's just winning. Okay. Well, I missed that. But now I'm just completely winning despite being a pawn down. So my pieces are just so much more active and looks like it actually likes capturing with my e knight just about the same. Rook e2. Well, it's fine. Both were fine. Yeah, and okay. One more game. Austrian variation. Do I know anything about this? I mean, maybe I should. Probably just takes, right? And if black wants to trade queens, we can trade queens and black can't castle anymore. So maybe black advances the pawn. Maybe that's the play. And it says 3, d captures c5. Now is that always the move in the Austrian variation, or are there other moves? Probably there are others. Maybe. Well, that makes sense. After I'm done, could show prep for this variation? Yeah, okay. Well, this is the last game of the stream anyways, so let's see here. I wonder if I can fianchetto here and be just fine. Yeah, let's try it. Maybe I even play e4. I wonder. Oh yeah, of course, if black took, then it would be I'd take, it would be a queen trade. That would be a queen trade. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, do I want to trade queens here? Is black's rook there a big enough problem that I need to worry about it? Let's maybe try e4 and I don't know. Maybe I need to play knight c3 with knight e2 to prevent problems over here. Okay. Well, that knight getting in probably makes sense. This squares, Okay, that is a little annoying, eh? I wonder if knight a3 and then, I suppose I'll try knight a3. I'll try to get myself castled. If the bishop moves now, is that a problem? I wonder if I could kick it with f3. Bishop back to g7. I can't say I understand that move. Oh, well, it's freeing up this pawn in any case. Let's play this one. Black getting a passed pawn like that, that would be awkward. That would be, that would not be what I want, eh? Well, it takes, okay. Wonder about bishop h3. Well, probably let's take this pawn. At the moment, I'm threatening this pawn as well. Okay. Now, I might get into trouble with something like bishop b5, maybe? If I castle, there's also, well, there's a pin. Huh. I wonder about bishop e2 then. Let's try that. Since, well, this pawn's sort of blocked anyways, right? So maybe that's the right approach. Knight f6. That sort of trade would be a thing. Okay, well, I'm happy enough with that. I'll castle. What's the best thing to do about that bishop? It would be cool if I could get my knight here and then... So if I do bishop e3 and then knight, let's go for that. Okay, yeah. Check. There's only one place. Now, yeah, now take the bishop. b7's undefended at the moment. What can I do with this file? Can I do anything with the f file? Or is it just nothing happening there? Well, I think that makes sense. Now, if I... What's the best way to go about this? I can defend the knight, let's say. And then the knight is itself defending the e4 pawn. Which rook is better to bring? This rook might be doing something if I can advance g4, g5 maybe. Not sure if that's working though. And it is a pawn minority, or is it? Well, if I... C1 or the C file, that bishop's... Let's bring the rook from the F file. Well, one thing I could do is take... that wouldn't work. It'd take with the rook first and then... Well, actually, is it fine? Does it work anyways? Maybe it works anyways. Takes... If rook takes, takes. If takes, then this. I think that works. I think that works. And who knows if it's the best idea or not. Like, for example, this pawn is hanging, isn't it? Well, anyways. It is a doubled pawn, though. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Now I'll bring the knight back, I suppose. And I'm currently up a pawn. I'm currently sort of on top of the d file, although it's not clear that I'm controlling it or anything. But this knight. How to best make use of my pieces, eh? I do have a pawn majority on this side. Can I use that? If I played a4, and then, well, maybe, that would be doubled pawns again, wouldn't it? If that sequence happened. This knight, at the moment, it's not going anywhere, right? Let's play a4. And maybe I should have played something like bishop a6. Maybe I needed to play bishop a6. Quite possibly. I think I would have preferred bishop a6. Well, I don't mind that at all. That's just fine. And absolutely, I'll push a5, and this knight still doesn't have any great squares, and okay. Well, that's I guess e4 can fall here. Well, no, it's black trades away, and well, I think it's fine though, especially with these pawns on dark squares, and I can maybe bring my bishop to d5. And probably that's a permanent outpost, and so or, you know, if not, I just push this pawn up. Maybe it would. If I push g4, then maybe I can ensure that pawn is fine. Now, black's king getting up. Well, that's one thing. Well, I ought to be bringing my king probably. One thing I can do is like block off potentially block off black's king's advance. I think I'll play, well, if I play g4, then is that okay though? Let's play g4. Look at b4. Okay, okay. Well, yeah, that's fine. I don't care about that. b4. Everything here is covered, at least at the moment. Like, I could maybe bring my bishop back there, or, well, anyways, this ought to be just fine. Now, maybe black tries to get back inside here. I wonder if I can be faster, though, and if my bishop can be sufficient defense. All right, let's start bringing the king. Now, maybe if black goes there and there, maybe it could be an issue. So bringing the bishop back is just fine, right? Everything is defended, and maybe something like that is a thing. Well, anyways. Well, I certainly don't mind that, right? Because it means that black is still being blocked off. Now, this bishop move, well, then if the pawn, so black would still be blocked off like that. I think I can even advance on this side then. I don't think there's any problems. I think black's cutting off. I think the situation, at least, is cutting off all access for black's king. Yeah, what are you going to do there? Huh? Maybe I run out of progress here too. Okay, I guess I'll go over here. Yeah, black wants to take with black's king there, eh? Well, that makes sense. If I take... Yeah, because this was actually... I think I messed up, perhaps. Yeah, I done goofed. I'll go here and say, you can take, and I'll get over here just fine. So I can defend in any case. I guess this is a draw, though, eh? Unless something else is up. Like, I can probably advance to c4. And maybe... This might not be a draw. This might not be a draw. Okay, well, c4 in any case. Now you can advance pawns, you can bring your king back, and I'll advance my king, and well, actually, if the king goes back here, I'll just go there, right? And just win. I'm not sure if I played this the most accurately, but this endgame, or this, but I'm winning here, right? So this is just fine. Takes, this pawn is unstoppable. Yeah, you can have those pawns. I don't care. I don't care in the least. All right, well, did I win or lose last game? Okay, today's 3 for 4. And looks like I gained 5 whole rating points, which at my level is not that much. If I'm trying to improve, that is. Well,